I thank you again for coming. If this is a repeat visit, and I thank you for coming for the first time, and welcome you with open arms and a big hug. We are changing how we interact with the physical body and Gaia. And these are the messages that have been coming through very strongly. And there is some very practical experiences and revelations that I am downloading for the work. I would love to have your comment. It doesn't have to be very personal, um, just to have your energetic fingerprint, so to speak, on the pulse of the work here. I had many personal card readings that have reflected these same messages over and over. And it's a very unique aspect of the card readings. It's very rare for me to have people from all walks of life have very similar messages. So that brought me to feel the inspiration to reveal this to all who would see it and hear it. I want to share this to be supportive of our process and to be another voice amongst many who are on that cusp. We are all on the cusp of changing, um, but to have a little bit more practice with listening to the pulse of Gaia. Um, I spent the past 4 years really doing a lot of solo adventures in my Astrovan up into the mountains, in the desert, on the coast, in East Coast, West Coast, um, lakes, just everywhere, all places, and integrating with the land and finding um, secrets. Learning how to listen, to feel it, to feel the information, to feel that there was information to know there, and to quiet enough my personal human chatter mind and say, it's time to listen. So I know absolutely this skill is developing, getting stronger, and refining in so many different angles and placements. It's creating the foundation. For myself, absolutely. But I also feel that this foundation is shared. It is not possible for one person to be a solo event. It's just not. Everything that we are fine tuning is a ripple effect, a resonance in the field, in the quantum field. And it sounds like the quantum field is outside of us, but the reality of that is we embody within ourselves an enormous amount of space that holds this energetic, I'm going to say blueprint, but that kind of sounds like there's a rigidity to it, and that's not it. It's more like we hold plasma space that is in constant motion with information that we receive because of we're built like antennas, because we receive ambient vibrations and bring them through our plasma quantum field, our personal quantum field. That is, do we have a personal quantum field? That's a weird combination of words. We I think the human brain would like us to have an individual space in the quantum identity, but we don't. So that's not correct. Once there's an entry into the quantum vibration, the identity of self dissipates. And if there's an ability to relax in that, all need for identity also disappears. I have experienced this feeling, this understanding, this knowing. It is cultivated and nurtured. It is in service that I now bring this to you, but initially, this work for me was necessary because of pain and grief in my heart. Um, it was mandatory for me to find meditative moments in my day to alleviate this pain and grief. And so the practice began just to feel a little bit better, a little bit less sad. I wouldn't even say better. I would just say maintain some sort of homeostasis and not fall into a terrible dark place uh, where there was a lot of blaming and judgment and criticism, mostly me to myself, just me on me. I wasn't even developing any of that into the world. So for 4 years, I traveled and integrated somewhat with cities and places to work and join communities, and each one gave me a piece of the puzzle. Each one helped to develop and anchor this foundation that I'm reaching for in definition with words to communicate. I feel the essence and the meaning of what I'm reaching for is coming through regardless of the words. And when you're listening to this, you can feel it because there's no reason for you to be listening to this if it's so far away from your resonance. You're not gonna make it to the end. You're gonna be like, this is weird. I gotta go. Um, because it's very new. It's bringing out a combination of wisdom, human wisdom, with the development or access to more of our sacred, energetic, geometric alignments. And in that, there's an enormous amount of ease. There's an enormous amount of relaxation, of grace. We become graceful with ourselves first, giving compassion to ourselves as we stumble along in this human existence. Um, that has been the work up until now. Really, we no longer will need this work. The reveal is happening. More and more information, more and more layers of the onion are are being peeled back so that we can find more evolved places to exist from, right? So the basis of the reveal gives us a new foundation. Every time something comes to the surface, we get to reinvent ourselves with this knowing how we react to it. Can we find compassion? Can we bring that compassion in our energetic heart and bring it to Gaia so that we can all move forward? Um, Understanding that the lessons have brought us here, and all of the things that are being told, revealed, shown, explained is part of this process. And again, to make sure, even if initially there's judgment, to hold space for the judgment with some compassion and say, yeah, I get it. This hurts. This is painful. This is hard to see and hard to know. But in the scope of becoming human, the new human, we have heart space big enough. Enormous, really. And this information is going into a library. And we are the librarians. Because every aspect of our geometric, energetic form is a filing system. If you've noticed in your life how your body holds things to the point of even some sort of illness because you do not identify that your body is the filing system, it develops into more and more pain. In the practice of energetic healing, there's really just identifying where it is and to give it space for a voice and allow it to be heard instead of stored in the body in in um in kind of unaligned angles that causes the pain. And when the I'm going to say issue, happening, wrongdoing occurred, it was in a shape that didn't fit. And so it began to hurt in the body. I'm trying, it's an interesting concept that's coming through, and I'm hoping these words are adequate enough to explain. It's almost like puzzle pieces that didn't fit, but they were in there because there was nowhere else to go without the maturity of the individual to hold space for it. It just irritated the other geometries around the body and caused that misalignment and pain and illness. So in that time to create this firm foundation, and in that moment of judgment, know that with more and more love and patience, we can take all of these misaligned revelations, information, lessons, and reform them into a knowing, just a knowing, so that it doesn't cause any kind of pain in the body, any kind of resistance in the body to hold space for it. I've actually never thought of it that way, and I think that's simply brilliant. I appreciate that. So the movement from identifying how our filing system works, how this energetic grid that we have, a physical body that is aligned with it, we start to allow our brain power to reassess what the patterns have been. How is the pattern that's being evoked by the reveal of painful knowing, the reveal of the institutions and the programs and the lies, the betrayal? There's a way through this body sensation to not let it settle so much in a place and make a home, but to notice when there's information coming through whichever channel it enters into your reality, where the discomfort is. May not have time right at that moment to give it space and love, but note it. Okay, this is hitting me right in the gut. And then the next time you're in meditation, ask for help, ask for guidance. Everyone has their teams at the ready of ascended masters, angels and archangels, guides and spirit guides. Just ask for help. Say, when I heard this on the news, when I saw this post on whatever social media channel you're looking at, it hit me in my gut. How can I understand that? What other words I need to allow that to reshape into a knowing space without the pain? the words we use is the direction, is the directive. How we express ourselves during times of stress, during times of questioning the construct you're looking at and trying to find your way through to what to believe even, because that's what it's going to feel like. It's like, how could this be true is really what it's going to feel like. um and if there has not been practice before this time of discernment, this is going to be more painful in the body and the mind, and there's going to be an extreme amount of distress. And it is for those who have established a very strong connection with themselves and Gaia through the meditations, the energy work, the channeled messages. We are the ones that are going to just have to figure out how to find more compassion, because it's going to be piles and piles of painful knowing. There is definitely an outcome of balance and harmony and equilibrium that will resonate going through this, coming to the other side of allowing the knowing of the information that's being revealed to adjust into an aligned place, allowing the compassion from your heart to shift the shape of the misaligned information into some sort of coherence so we can hold it within our library. That's what's coming through. And when as we master this skill, there's our resonance is going to heighten into an emphatic level of joy. One that rivals any understanding of joy we've had thus far. This is a vibration that is multifaceted and many, many levels. So I'm seeing kind of like a Merkaba, but then each angle within the Merkaba has these energetic stars that are coming out. And so that's the kind of joy that will resonate within our being. And there is nothing about rushing through this that has come through you. There is no rushing. This is the huge part of the learning process, uh, for the human intellect to perceive, understand, and bring into the body to transform it within that compassionate heart space into a different geometry that settles into the library of the body. Because Gaia is a library for all soul groups that have interacted here throughout the millennia, from Gaia's conception, and even before that. This has been a very interesting card reading for me. I don't think I've understood this in this particular way. I appreciate so much that you have come, and I wish from the bottom of my heart, with all the compassion and love, that you would to leave a comment so that I might I might refine the messages that are coming through to reflect the collective process. Thank you.